This is our sewing machine for class. Come to the side and you know where the power button is and turn it on, and that lights up the surface for you. Be careful that your foot is away from the foot control so you wouldn't accidentally step on that. Now, this is really nice because as you can see, all of these chart and lines help you keep the fabric straight when you're sewing. So right here is a mark that lines up with the 5/8. Our first seam is to sew 5/8 of an inch. So take this top edge and put it just past the opening or the hole of the presser foot, lining it up on the 5/8 mark. Once you get it lined up, gently set the presser foot down. I'm about 1/8 of an inch in so that when I put the needle down, I'm in the right spot. You can use the needle position to put the needle in the fabric, then step very gently on the foot control, which is on the floor, and take those 3 stitches to get started. Then stop and take your foot off and push the reverse, and each time the needle goes down it counts as a stitch, and I went back 4 stitches. Anywhere between 3 and 5 is fine, it's not a problem, and that'll create your knot. That's so it doesn't unravel. Now when I'm sewing, notice I'm not pushing or pulling. I do have to steer, and the harder you step down, the faster you go. I'm watching right here, don't watch the needle, so you sew straight. Now, I want to stop with my needle at my mark. So I'm going to slow down with my foot. Now, since you're just starting to learn to sew, if you're worried, use the hand wheel and take your last couple of stitches. Remember, turn the hand wheel towards you and stop right on the dot. Okay, a pivot and turn is how we change directions. You pick up the presser foot with the needle down and you turn, and we're going to sew toward our fold. Put the presser foot back down so that the machine knows that you're ready to sew and it's lined up on my mark. You do not backstitch. Sew to the edge. Don't let the needle go off the edge. Stop 1/8 of an inch before the end. Take your foot off the foot control, push and hold for 3 or 4, and then don't forget to come back forward. Once it gets to the edge, you want the needle to be up, so push the needle position button up, pick up the presser foot, pull the fabric and the threads to the side of the machine. Using the scissors, cut those threads nice and close, don't cut the fabric. Come back, cut those initial sewing threads, and put them in the garbage. I'll clean those up later. And then put the threads to the side, and you're ready. So we have just completed number 2. Number 3 says, using a straight stitch, sew 1/4 inch. The 1/4 inch mark is right here. And it says you do not have to pivot and turn this time. But again, we do backstitch when we begin and end the seam. So line up at the 1/4 inch mark, slide it under just past the opening. Now let's say I went too far. Just pick up the presser foot and move it so it's exactly where you want it before you put the needle in. And now you're going to sew 3 forward with your foot, and then push for 3 back, or 4, and then you sew. And again, watch your mark. The harder you step, the faster it goes. The less you push, the slower it goes. Try not to have the needle go all the way off the edge, because otherwise it bunches up. My foot is off the foot control, push and hold for 3, and don't forget to come back forward all the way to the edge this time. Then pick up the needle, pick up the presser foot, pull it to the side of the machine, trim your threads, make sure your name is on it just with an ink pen, and turn it in to be graded. If at any point you do go crooked, you forget to backstitch, just stop, take it out, and then you're going to use the seam ripper to take out those threads, and then you can start again so that your sample is perfect and you get an A. Thank you.